Hello, hello. I'm Chris with the Legacy team, and today we're going to answer a question: how do you replicate an old spindle or column? If someone were to approach you and ask you that question, what would you say? Well, we had a customer who ran into this exact situation, Tommy Holmes, and he actually shared this spindle with us. He says, hey, if we can replicate this, feel free to use it in a video, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you how to replicate this spindle and showing the flow process using our Conversational CAM Pro software. It becomes a really easy and fast process to perform. We're going to do this on the turning center of the Maverick CNC system, so let's go show you how it's done. Let's begin by actually showing the design and programming flow process of how this spindle came together. So this entire spindle is going to be programmed using Legacy's Conversational CAM Pro software. And this has unique toolpaths that are only found in this software that can't be found in any other CAD/CAM software in the world. But we're going to be using that in tangent with any 3-axis CAD/CAM software to create our design and layout. So here we're using the Vectric Aspire software to create first our 2D layout of what the spindle is going to look like. And this process is very straightforward. We can take an image of the original spindle and we can position it and size it accordingly. It really doesn't have to be to the right scale quite yet, because we can always scale the design afterwards. But here we can quickly lay out a vector along that profile and then adjust individual sections until they match along that contoured face. Once the 2D vectors are laid out for the spindle, we can now proceed by laying out dimensions for Conversational CAM. So for the surfacing cutter, we're able to lay out all the dimensions necessary right here, just in a 2D, so we can plug those into Conversational CAM. But I'm going to show you one of the cool processes, which is the contouring of how Conversational CAM Pro is able to take a 3-axis toolpath from, let's say, Aspire, and we can import that G-code file into Conversational CAM Pro, and it converts that program automatically so that it's turning into a contour turning sequence. So the process in Conversational CAM Pro that does this conversion for contouring is an importing process called vector turning. So let's see how easy this is. If we go into this, all we have to do is import our G-code, found here. Now we can select our cutter, which is our 1/8 inch tapered ball nose. And then we can just select and adjust any settings necessary. Conversational CAM Pro will now combine all of these toolpaths together. So we have first the surfacing cutter is going to be machining it square and performing all the turning round roughing passes in the middle of the spindle. And then here we have the 1/8 inch cutter is going to then perform the contour, again, all in a single pass from left to right. Legacy's Conversational CAM Pro is only available for Legacy CNC customers, which gives you a major advantage over any other 4-axis turning center. After we mounted the blank and before we start the program, we needed to actually index our part so that the flat surface of our square blank is parallel with our cutter surface. Now this blank is oversized so that we have enough material to surface along all 4 faces. The cutting advantages that you see here, such as climb milling the edges and taking 40% step over, ensuring that we're getting a climb cut along the entire face, is all built into Conversational CAM Pro. All we had to do was give it a starting and ending position for that square section and the section diameter that we wanted that square section to be as the final result. After surfacing the opposite end of our spindle, we're now ready to use the same cutter, this 1.25" surfacing cutter, to turn the stock round and rough all the material in the center. Again, all the cutting advantages that are shown here, such as climb milling the edge of the square component to minimize tear out, and shifting the cutter off center while it's traveling down the stock to ensure that the cutter is sweeping with the grain instead of across the grain. All of these advantages are already built and automatic from Conversational CAM Pro. To finish off the roughing processes, now we're going to use the same cutter to remove little sections at different increments along the length. This will make it so that the tapered ball cutter has minimum load put on the tool so that we have a clean finish along our surface. All the cutters shown throughout this cutting demonstration are from magnate.net. If you haven't checked out all of their cutter profiles, which are completely unique to the woodworking industry, I recommend you do so. Again, it's magnate.net. The ability to take an image and trace out a 2D vector and then convert that toolpath in Conversational CAM Pro makes this contouring technique really fast and simple. Altogether, it only took 24 minutes to turn this spindle, including the surfacing square, roughing the stock round, and performing the contouring. Thanks for watching. Now, these types of videos generate a lot of different questions. From can the machine do what I need it to do and can it solve the problems that I need resolved, to is this something that I can truly handle learning when it comes to software, or how fast can I incorporate this into my business, and many, many more. I recommend you take advantage of 2 resources to answer your questions. First is head on over to our website at legacywoodworking.com. There you'll find all the different product information, additional cutting demonstrations, and much more. The second resource I recommend doing is actually getting in contact with one of our CNC experts. You can call them at 801-491-0010. They will be happy to answer any of your questions, put on software or cutting demonstrations with the machines, and point you to additional resources, again, to fulfill your needs. Now, if you'd like to just simply watch more videos, I don't blame you. Just click right over there. I think we all know what to do. If you want to be notified of future videos, just click that button down below, and don't hesitate to give us a like if you liked what you saw. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems and allows you to say yes to more opportunities than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.